woman inherits a necklace with a dark history, and each time she wears it, someone close to her dies. Isla Monroe had always been fascinated by antiques. When her great-aunt Violet passed away, the lawyer handed her a small, velvet-lined box as part of the inheritance. Inside lay a breathtaking necklace, an intricate chain of blackened silver with a blood-red ruby pendant shaped like a teardrop. "It's been in the family for generations," the lawyer explained, "but your aunt insisted it was to be passed on only to you." Isla stared at the necklace in awe. It looked regal, yet something about it unsettled her. The ruby gleamed even in the shade, as though it had a light of its own. She asked if there was any history behind it, but the lawyer merely shrugged and said, "Your aunt never spoke of it, only that it was yours now." Isla took it home, unaware that with that decision, a century-old curse had just found its next victim. That evening, Isla stood in front of her mirror and clasped the necklace around her neck. A sudden shiver ran down her spine, followed by an odd warmth spreading through her chest. The necklace felt heavier than it looked, like it was pressing into her skin with intent. As she examined herself, the ruby shimmered with an eerie, pulsing light. "Weird," she murmured. She reached up to adjust it, but it almost resisted her touch, refusing to move. When she finally managed to shift it, a sharp jolt, like static electricity, zapped her fingers. She laughed it off, blaming dry air and nerves. Throughout the night, she had vivid dreams of a woman screaming in agony, flames surrounding her, and the necklace glowing brighter as if feeding off her pain. She woke up gasping, drenched in sweat, heart racing. It was just a dream, right? The next morning, Isla's phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Her best friend, Cassie, had been found dead in her apartment. No signs of forced entry, no wounds, just gone. The authorities were baffled. "It looked like her heart just stopped," her mother said, sobbing over the phone. Isla dropped call and stumbled to her couch, her mind reeling. She'd just spoken to Cassie the night before. They had made dinner plans. The image of the necklace in the mirror flashed in her mind, the way it had pulsed, dream, heaviness. A deep, unsettling chill crept up her spine. She reached up and unclasped it, setting it on the table. For the rest of the day, she stared at it, unsure whether her paranoia was getting the better of her or if something darker was truly at play. Isla forced herself to believe it was just a tragic coincidence. Cassie had a history of heart issues, didn't she? Maybe stress? Still, days later, she wore the necklace again for a gallery event. That night, her co-worker and art partner Liam was in a car crash, dead on impact. A week later, she wore it to a dinner party and received a call the next morning. Her neighbor, Mrs. Palmer, who had doted on Isla like a second mother, had drowned in her bathtub. Each time she wore the necklace, someone in her orbit vanished. It became impossible to ignore. Her friend group began thinning out. Moments after wearing it were always followed by death, sorrow, and funerals. Yet no one suspected her. Only Isla noticed the connection, and as much as she tried to deny it, her stomach twisted in guilt and fear every time she looked at the cursed piece of jewelry. Haunted by guilt, Isla turned to research. She scoured antique forums, family archives, and old journals. Her breakthrough came from a dusty, forgotten family diary stored in her great-aunt's attic. One passage stood out, written in elegant cursive. "The necklace bears the wrath of Eldra. Her soul cries for blood and binds itself to flesh. Each bearer must offer life to wear it." Further digging revealed a legend about a woman named Eldra Rowan, a mystic healer turned accused sorceress in the 1600s. Burned at the stake for witchcraft, her final words cursed the villagers and imbued her pendant with her dying rage. The necklace, passed down through generations, was believed lost until it reappeared in Isla's hands. It demanded blood to awaken, and now that it had tasted death again, it wouldn't stop until its debt of vengeance was paid in full. Isla's obsession grew. The deeper she dove into Eldra's history, the more horrifying the truth became. Eldra had been powerful, respected, feared, and envied. When falsely accused, she infused her soul into the necklace as she burned, anchoring her rage to the material world. Each wearer since had unknowingly carried Eldra's soul, and each time someone wore it, the spirit demanded a sacrifice. Isla found sketches of previous wearers in museum records, each followed by sudden deaths or family tragedies. No one had survived wearing it for long. Her great-aunt, she realized, had stopped wearing it years ago and became reclusive. She must have known. The necklace was not just cursed, it was possessed. And now Eldra was using Isla as her new puppet. The more Isla wore it, the more control Eldra would take. It wasn't just about death anymore. It was about domination. Despite her knowledge, Isla couldn't resist the necklace's pull. She told herself she'd destroy it soon, but each time she saw it, she felt compelled to put it on. Her reflection changed subtly, her eyes darker, her smile unfamiliar. She began losing time, waking up in strange places, unsure how she got there. Her friends noticed. "You've been different lately," one of them said, more aggressive, cold. Her temper flared over minor things. She snapped at co-workers, withdrew from family, and even broke a wine glass in her hand during an argument, not even feeling the shards cutting into her skin. But the worst part, she didn't care. Every time she wore the necklace, she felt powerful, beautiful, invincible, and that terrified her, because she knew it wasn't her feeling those things. It was Eldra creeping into her soul, twisting her from the inside out. Panicked, Isla tried everything to get rid of the necklace. She buried it in the woods, threw it into the ocean, locked it in a safe, and dumped the key. But each time it returned. Sometimes it was on her dresser. Once, it was around her neck when she woke up. No matter how far she sent it, it found her. The priest she consulted grew pale at its presence and refused to help. "There are things we are not meant to touch," he whispered. Desperate, she tried burning it, only for the flames to vanish as if suffocated. She contacted mystics, paranormal experts, even scientists. No one had answered. Eldra's spirit had chosen her. The bond would not break so easily. The necklace had become an extension of her, a living parasite that latched onto her soul, and it wasn't letting go. Late at night, when the world was silent, she began to hear it. Faint, melodic whispers. Isla. The voice was gentle at first, like a lullaby sung through the wind. Then it grew bolder. "Wear me, we are one." The whispers slipped into her dreams and slithered through her thoughts. She tried plugging her ears, playing loud music, but nothing drowned it out. When she tried to resist, the whispers turned to screams, tormenting her with visions of the people who had died. Cassie's lifeless face, Liam's mangled body, Mrs. Palmer's pale hands. They were weak. "You are not," the necklace whispered. Isla began to feel like she was losing her mind. She couldn't distinguish her own thoughts from Eldra's. The necklace wasn't just calling her, it was seducing her, offering comfort, strength, revenge. And the terrifying part? A part of her wanted it. Determined to end it once and for all, Isla set out to break the curse. She sought out the last living descendant of Eldra-S executioner, a reclusive historian named Silas in a remote village. Silas revealed a forbidden ritual buried in a secret grimoire. To break the curse, the necklace must be willingly destroyed by the blood of the one who wears it, on the very soil where Eldra was burned. With trembling hands, Isla returned to the ancient execution grounds. Flames flickered in the wind as she stood in the center of the scorched earth, knife in hand. The necklace screamed in her ears, thrashing against her skin. "You belong to me!" it cried. But Isla drove the blade across her palm and let her blood fall onto the pendant. With a blinding flash and a scream that shook the heavens, the ruby shattered. The whispers ceased. Eldra was gone, and so was the curse. If this story gave you chills, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more terrifying tales every week. What would you do if you found a cursed necklace? Comment below and let us know.